bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires.
One of the things I've been playing with is building my own winch bumper here. So that's one of the things I've been doing in the past few weeks. 100% scrap materials. I just got lucky and found enough to do her. She has got a Badlands 10,000 pound winch in her. A couple other things, and then I am going to try and save up some money and get enough steel together to build the rear bumper. But so that's what I've been up to as far as stuff, and project wise, that is going to be a log splitter that I'm going to make, a homemade hydraulic log splitter. And let's move into the big shop. But I am going to film the log splitter if y'all want to follow that as well on here. That's work and welding and all of that. So I think y'all might find it rather interesting. So I hope you will follow the other projects as well, even though they're not all directly RC related. And this is Snowshoo, and her chassis is on the way, as you can see. So I am running an Endura engine and transfer case, or gearbox and transfer case. It will of course have the Endura portal axles, or portal diffs. The portal diffs I bought here quite some time ago, and I just got enough together to be able to pick up the gearbox and the transfer case from Endura as well. And quite frankly, I think they look really good as well. I am running a Holmes 540 Trailmaster in Snowshoo, and of course with the homemade snow plow and all that, I am just figuring out how I'm going to put it on the front. I am running a hidden winch in the rear end, trying to decide how I want to attach the body. I think I have finally decided that I am going to go with a magnet mount up front and a hitch mount on the rear. Another chassis for a Land Rover D110, and her name is Yukon. So Yukon is another build that is going to be coming up. And so there is part of root beer. We're going to continue on with her, and yeah, it's about friggin' time that root beer and Dodgezilla get completed. They're gonna happen this time. If it kills me, I'm not gonna let depression or PTSD get in the way. I just don't give a shit. I'm not gonna let it get in the way. And these guys deserve their vehicles that I promised for them, and they're gonna happen. As well as Yukon, and that is her gearbox, or her chassis right there. And I have enough steel made for another one, because I actually have a Toyota LC70 body that my daughters picked up for me. My daughters have been spoiling me lately for Christmas, my birthdays, and just generally spoiling me for no reason at all. So they bought me this truck because it looks a lot like my daughter's truck in Australia. My daughter Michelle and her wife Nikki just happen to drive a Toyota LC70, and so we are going to copy it. So back on Snowshoo here, the reason I brought you back was just to show you that I've changed the building materials I'm using. So rather than using this 1/2 inch square tube cut in half like this, I'm still going to use it for items such as battery trays and parts and so on, because I've got a lot of it in stock. But I've gone away from using it from chassis rails as much as possible, mainly because it leaves these sharp edges. I find there's a lot of waste in it when I do use it. And it's expensive stuff, like all steel, and of course here in Canada getting worse these days. But like this piece, I've got to cut it in half to make a C-channel, which is just not necessary, when instead I can use a 1-inch flat, 1-inch by 1/8 flat stock, like this little piece here. I buy it in 10-foot lengths. I cut it to the length I need for whatever chassis I want to make, whether I'm making a crawler, a semi, or whatever, and I can give it shape. I can leave indentations in it for extras like sliders, bumpers, or anything else that I want to bolt onto the chassis, so I don't have to maintain one universal width all the way down the chassis. And yet I find I get just as much strength, just as much rigidity, and a whole lot less mess and cleanup afterwards with very few sharp edges. And it just works great, and it's still a lightweight option. So that's what I've switched to in building all of my vehicles now. And that's about it for this one, and we will see you in the next episode. Thank you. I hope you like and subscribe, and we will talk to you soon. This has been Twist. Take care. Bye-bye.
Nightmares creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire.